Fifth track on the record is She's a Rainbow.
And current single.
This was a song girl I knew at the time asked me if we could write a song together. And if I'm being honest, I think I was trying to impress her, so I said yes, of course. She only had a title and the line, she's a walking, talking disco ball. And I thought that line was fantastic because I didn't think much of the title because I've never been a fan of the Stones song. But that kind of gave me the idea of where to go with it because the girl herself, she was very much like that. She was a little bit quirky and eccentric and so, ended up writing the song kind of, around her. And it came together quite quickly.
And it's funny because when I was working on it, I was stuck for a while. I remember being stuck thinking, what am I going to do with this song? And how do I kind of make it as and a step above the demo? And then I kind of got to that funny little jangly guitar thing that opens it up. And I thought, oh no, that works. I like that. We can go with that. That's where that came from. But it took me a while to get there.
And I think that those jangly guitar things have become something that's almost what is a common thread. My Town has something similar, and they're usually something simple, but they really add to just chords that are just being strummed or played. And
I think they've become our signature over the years.
Yeah, they have. We'd love to kind of get to that level that Johnny Marr does in the Smiths songs. But I think that's kind of the idea behind them because it just makes the songs a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So in the studio again, I think there was just an acoustic guitar. There might have been maybe a 12-string Rickenbacker.
The 12-string Rickenbacker because that's what I play the introduction on.
That's right. Yeah, because we wanted to try and get them as jangly as we could, and so we used a couple of Rickenbackers on the album, which is the perfect guitar for jangle. Again, Alistair smashed out the vocal quite quickly.
He did.
I think that the solo is an original idea that I had, but you played it on the thing, and then you kind of modified it slightly, but it came out really well. And it's one of those times where you kind of get it right nearly the first time, and you don't change it as you go on. So
no, it's one of those ones. It's there, and you go, don't play with this.
And the video sort of took it to the next level as well. We think that the song's great, but the work that Carol did on that video and Tammy, it just went next level. We had 1,000 views in like 3 days, and people just seemed to love it. There was so much colour. It told a great story, and it's definitely one of those examples where a video makes a song better.
I've had a few ex-Brisbaneites ask me where it was filmed, and I have to say, I'm not really quite sure. But I believe it's in Ascot.
It is, Ascot and Hendra. We don't travel too far from our roots. So, sixth song of the album is also the title of the album.
Echoes of You.
Yeah, it's a song that I always kind of think of as in two parts, because the first thing that I wrote was that opening line, which is when you live in the dark, the only thing you see is the light. And I think that was me, kind of my take on religion. That sometimes when people are at their lowest, they're looking for something. But I certainly didn't want to make it a religious song, so it kind of went into more that redemptive idea. So, and I think love is one of the same sort of things, that where you look for redemption. And so the songs became a little bit more about redemption in love. And the Echoes idea was that about where you, after being with someone for a period of time, whether, they've either passed or they've just not in a relationship anymore, you still remember them being around the house or the place that you were, or that you might think you see them in a crowd. And it's interesting because it wasn't planned, but that echoes and memories actually kind of became a theme along a lot of the songs. So something like My Town is, the memories of Grant, and We See the Same Stars is, that. So there's quite a few songs on there that deal with people who have moved on from you in the past.
When it came to me, there was a period where you wrote a number of quite dark songs, and I've always thought of it as part of that kind of group of dark songs, and there is another one on the CD that belongs to that group. And it was a very different song for you. You kind of approached the playing of the chords and the sound you wanted in a different way, and it certainly still shows in this version of it.
I think it's one of my few songs that doesn't have a major seventh in it, so that's always a good start. It doesn't help. It certainly isn't welcomed in a dark song at the for some things, but yeah, it's from playing it wise, it's quite different. It's not standard chords.
No. And structurally, the way you approach the chords is different as well.
Yeah. But I think one of the most exciting things when when I sent it to you and you sent it back was that you had the dark choir in there, and that probably speaks to the whole darkness of it.
Yes.
So, Carolyn in the studio certainly questioned whether we needed a dark choir on there, but she got voted out, and we made sure she wasn't there for the final mix, so that we could keep it in there. But it's a good rock song, and it gives Alistair a chance to sort of kind of go for it, and push himself. But yeah, that was the idea behind that. Like I said, it really is a song of two parts. The verses against the chorus, they were written as two different songs, but they went together quite well for me. So.